What is up? It's Andro Koen. Welcome back to today's video. So this is a very, very special video because number one, it's Christmas. So Merry Christmas to you. And number two, if you're looking to start an agency in 2025, these are all the things that I would tell my younger self, like if you were to start over again. And I started my agency about 2 years ago. And also in this whole online space, there's a lot of things that people aren't sharing. And I just want to be as transparent as possible. And with that said, like I recorded this video about 10 minutes ago and my memory card just was like, nah, bro, like you need to record again. So I'm re-recording it. So hopefully with this time, I'll have more experience. And it's that whole saying of, when you start over, you're starting with more experience or like all that bullshit. But now I have to do it again. But anyway, let's see. So number one, it's, on social media, it looks a lot more glamorous than it really is. You see the lifestyle, you see the cars, you see the traveling, people spending money on luxurious events or whatever. Like, you have to realize that's only 5% of people's life. Like, the highlights, essentially. The highlight reel, like that's exactly what it is. People aren't going to share like the monotonous, boring stuff they do every single day. Like, if you were to see my calendar, like it's literally the exact same every single day. Wake up, do my morning routine. Like I actually got a cold plunge, which is pretty cool. This morning, I put it on my story, was my Christmas cold plunge. And before I hopped into that, I was like procrastinating for like 3 minutes. Just like, it's like ice cold. When you look at the board, it's like, okay, cool, just do it. But like, it's ice cold. It's like 7 degrees. But anyway, that's my morning routine. Wake up, I read a little bit for like 30 minutes. Cold plunge, coffee, and then basically get to work. So, and then I work for 4 or 5 hours, and then I go to the gym. First I eat, go to the gym, do sales calls. Like it's all the exact same time. Like I wake up at this time, eat at this time, go to the gym at this time, go for a run at this time, meetings at this time. It's all pretty boring. But those times, let's say the weekend, you have some spare time, whatever, then I go to a nice restaurant and I take a pic. Like, and then it's all like the agency is so cool. But like 99% of the time, I'm literally just working. So it looks a lot more glamorous. And there's a reason people do that. It's because, let's say someone sells like a course or something or a community or whatever, like a back-end info product, which is nothing wrong with, by the way. Like if it wasn't for all the digital products I went through, I would have not been here like making this video. Like I would have 100% achieved my goals. Like I have zero doubt about that. But it would have taken like 3 times longer. So it would have taken, instead of 1 year, it would have taken me 3 years. And in those 3 years, I could have made more money by just giving a mentor money and him showing me how to do it. I can do it in 1 year. And in those 2 years where I figure it out myself, which I 100% could have done, in those 2 years, I can make more money. So you are actually saving money when you spend money on mentors because you are buying time, and in that time, you can make more money. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. But, back to the lifestyle thing, like they are showing this lifestyle so that they are some form of an authority figure. I'm just telling you how it is. Like there's nothing good or bad. I'm just telling you how it is. They are then seen as an authority figure, which you can trust and respect and like and know through their long form videos. And then you invest in them, they help you, and then you achieve your goals quicker. But if it's like an average Joe, just like, nothing wrong with that, but average income, like average lifestyle, white picket fence, like no one's really going to buy his course, So that's essentially why people do it, like this lifestyle thing. And also it's pretty cool. Like, driving fast cars, traveling to Dubai and Greece and Bali and all this stuff, like, spoiling your parents or spoiling people you love. Like it's super cool. So there's nothing wrong with that, but that's the reason people do it. It's number one to, fulfill their materialistic desires, and number two, because, to attract an audience online. Okay. And also, what did I write here? So yeah, in reality, it's pretty hard. It's pretty fucking difficult. Like, I just want to align your expectations here. It's pretty difficult. Like I wrote down, anything worthwhile is hard, right? And if it wasn't worthwhile, it would be easy. Or if it was easy, it wouldn't be worthwhile. So if something is easy to get, Like, let's take this coffee, for example. Like, it was pretty easy to go get the coffee. Like, I just drove to the store, bought it. Like, it's not worthwhile. It's not like I'm going to praise this cup of coffee. But like, if it's a Lamborghini or Ferrari in my garage, like I put blood, sweat, and tears into that. It was hard. So therefore, it would be worthwhile. And all the great things in life are worthwhile. So if you are presented with two paths, like the easy road or the hard one, just take the hard one. Like even the beginning of my entrepreneurship journey, I was presented with two paths. Like it was either becoming a forex trader, and you probably relate to this as well. Like I'm gonna trade forex, I'm gonna do that. Like just start an agency. Like I've been through this whole thing. I've did the drop shipping, I did the forex, I did the crypto. Just to start an agency because you can build cash flow. But anyway, I was presented with two paths. Number one, forex. Number two, agency. I was like, which one is gonna be the absolute hardest? I'm like, agency. Okay, let's go that way. And I didn't consciously think about this, but like subconsciously, I'm like, okay, if it's harder, it's probably more worthwhile. It's probably gonna get me greater results in the future. So yeah, I just want to align your expectations. This is difficult. It's not, it looks glamorous from the outside, and yes, it is. But in order to get that, not everyone has that. It's pretty fucking hard. Okay. There's going to be months and maybe even years of you just like putting in the work and getting absolutely nothing out of it. But the funny thing is, you're not really losing because either your income grows, right? You sign more clients, or you grow. Like you grow as a person, you develop patience, confidence, whatever the case may be. So either way, it's a win. All right. So that's that. Number two, I briefly touched on this, is doubt. So you will experience a lot of doubt. Like you will just like lay down in your bed, like, is all of this worth it? Like, but I didn't really have that. Obviously, I faced a lot of challenges, like fucking a lot of challenges. Even my first client, he wanted to sue me, not because we didn't deliver results or anything like that. It's like we signed the client, and like for 2 weeks, he didn't respond at all. No messages, no email. Like I literally told Quentin, my business partner with the School of Athens, like I told him, like, I really think he fell off the earth. Like who pays $2,500, which was my first client, and just like disappears? I really thought like he was dead. Really. And then 2 weeks later, he's like, oh no, like personal issues, I want the money back. I'm like, what the fuck? Like we already worked, we already did some work, and then we refunded like I think half of the payment or something like that. So that was my first experience with my first client. Pretty shit. My first drop shipping store failed. Forex trading, like I lost 80% of my savings. Crypto, I made some money in like 2017, but like everyone made money. Or 2020 in like the bull run, I thought I was like the next like Michael Saylor. But like just everyone made money. And then agency was the one that just like boom, because you get cash flow in. And that's the most important part, which I will touch on in the end. Okay, so stick around for that. Well, it's actually now. Well, let's just touch a bit on the doubt thing. Like, I never really had any doubt. Like I mentioned, I did face challenges, but deep down, I knew I was going to pull this thing off. Because one, like, I just completely burned the boats. And number two, like, there was no other option. Like, there was just no way I was working a 9 to 5. Like, there was just no way. And even in Walt Disney's story, like his biography, it was written that, the person who read it, it was like an audiobook. It was like, yo, even at the age of 20, Walt Disney didn't want to be an employee for another company. That's insane. I'm like, that's normal. Like, there was just no way I was being an employee for a company and a boss telling me what to do. That's just my nature. So there was just no going back to that. So my only option was winning and making this agency work. Like, there was just, like, you have to deeply internalize this. There was no other option. So losing wasn't even in the equation. And I'm reading a lot of biographies at the moment, and like every single one of them, losing wasn't in the dictionary for them. Like it just like losing wasn't even part of their why did I want to say typography? But like their word choice, like it was they didn't even think about losing at all. It was only winning. So I had that exact same mindset before I even read these books. Just I had zero doubt. In the end, I knew I would make it because the other path was just like spiritual death, like literally. So yeah. And yeah, I wrote down, belief comes before ability. So before this video, I saw an Instagram story, and he said that of an entrepreneur. And he said that you know, people think that when they make all this money, then they will feel successful, then they will feel wealthy, but it's the complete opposite. First, you need to feel wealthy. First, you need to feel successful. Like you already made it, essentially. That's also what I like. I don't like the whole saying of, I'm going to make it. It's like, bro, you already made it. And then from that state, you win. Okay? Because if you are like, I'm going to make it, you are constantly chasing for something. But if you already made it, you already feel worthy, you already feel successful, then you act from that state, you take action from that state, and then what is the outcome? Obviously, you making the money. So it's opposite. I already felt successful. I already felt worthy. I already felt wealthy. And then I took action from that state, and that gave me the outcome, which is signing clients, making money, total freedom, whatever the hell that is. So belief comes before ability. It's not the other way around. People think that they first need to make the money and then they will believe it's possible. No, first you need to believe it's possible, like belief, and then the ability comes. And that's with every single successful entrepreneur back in like the 1900s. Every single one of them. Carnegie, Rockefeller, Walt Disney, like Estee Lauder, like all these people. Belief comes before ability. So, number 3. Service-based business is the best business to start, without a doubt. Service-based, obviously you got like digital products, you got physical products, you got service-based businesses, you got, like software. Service-based business is the best business to start, hands down. And I might be biased because I started one, but the thing is, there's a very, very good opportunity in today's marketplace because, the haves and the have-nots, like that gap is increasing. There's not, like in the 1950s, 60s and 70s, like there was a middle class, like that was actually a good path, like, making decent job. The wife would stay at home, like didn't have to bring in income, and the man would just like go to work 9 to 5, make good money and take care of his family. Like that was possible back in 1950s, 60s, 70s. But now the middle class is disappearing. It's only the rich and the poor, like that gap, okay? But this, with every challenge is an opportunity. There's an opportunity for you to then serve those wealthy people because the wealthy people are becoming more and more. It's increasing, all right? So you can go to those people, message them, email them, whatever, and tell them, yo, I can help you save time because the thing is, rich people have money, but they don't have time. So they will happily give you money if you can save them time. And every single business needs social media marketing or needs marketing in general. Like that's the lifeblood of any business is marketing. So you can go to these rich people and, the average or the median of let's say a business owner in the US is 55. So that's like the average business owner age. So you can go to them. They don't want to learn social media and all these tactics and these trends and like they don't even know what Instagram is. Okay. They're still scrolling on like Facebook and looking at memes. So you can help them. Do their marketing for their business and they will pay you a lot of money because they have a lot of money, but they don't have time. But you have time and not money. So it's a perfect exchange. Like you have a lot of time, you can do all of this stuff for them. You have expertise because you grew up in the social media era. They didn't, and they have money, so they will just give you money. Like that's essentially how it works. And you do their marketing for their business, which is social media marketing agency. That's exactly what it is. That's that. Number 4, with that said, people say that, like SMMA is dying, like social media marketing agency is dying. Like, are you telling me that marketing is dying? All SMA really is a social media, okay, that's the platform, marketing agency. An agency is essentially just like your company, let's just say it's you, where you outsource the work, all right? So you're telling me marketing is dying. I got a cool stat for you. So in 2024, 5,730,000 businesses, new businesses, let me just say that again, 5,730,000 new businesses was registered in the US alone in 2024. And that's increasing by like 20% every single year. So next year, it's going to be like 6.8 million. All right. Hopefully my math is correct there. It's like 20%, 1.2, 6.8 million, close to that. So that's an average, like 2024, that's an average of, let's just say 500,000, like 470,000, 473,000 new businesses every single month. And every single one of those businesses need marketing. So like you only need like, let's say 5 clients paying you $5,000 a month to make $25,000 per month. 5 clients out of 473,000 businesses every single month. And you're telling me marketing is dying. SMMA is dying. It's literally growing exponentially. You need to realize the supply is increasing. Obviously, people say SMMA is saturated. There's a lot of people, but you have to realize the pie is increasing as well. The demand is increasing also. Like every single business needs social media marketing. All right. Yeah, like it's not dying. Trust me. Like it's growing 20% a year. The demand is increasing as well. So it's a perfect time to get in. And yesterday I watched a video from Ty Lopez, his new 67 steps. And he said that people have a natural pessimistic bias. So where they think they are too late. Back when he wanted to start a podcast in like 2003 or something. He said, "Oh, I'm too late. There's 100,000 podcasts. Like I'm too late. Like I'm just going to start something else." But he was extremely early. And even, back in 2017 or something, Bitcoin was $11,000. People are like, "Oh, well, it's way too expensive. You are like, wasting people's money. You are making people lose all their money in Bitcoin. Like it's way too expensive. $11,000. Now it's like $100,000. So like a 10x. So it was actually pretty early. And most people have a pessimistic bias. So you are not late. You like, this whole ancient quote of, the second best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The best time was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So like you are not getting any younger. So just start now. Trust me. Yeah, so that's that. Number 5. There was something I wanted to add there. Okay, no, that's essentially that. So number 5. When it comes to a social media marketing agency, client acquisition is going to be your hardest skill to learn. Like actually getting clients in. People think it's all fulfillment. Like I need to really, really dial in my fulfillment structure and, get like peak results for clients. Obviously it's important, but hear me out. Client acquisition is the hardest. Actually getting someone, the actual hardest is getting someone on a call with you, on a Zoom call. Because people are getting emails constantly. They are getting DMs constantly. Like I get at least emails, I would say like 15 emails a week. And like, let's say another 15 DMs a week. So 30 people reach out to me every single week. And I'm pretty like small when it comes to my audience size and all of that. So a lot of big, influencers or whatever who you target, they get millions of emails. Like let's say hundreds of emails a week. Okay. So you have to stand out in that. So client acquisition is the hardest thing, which is obviously what we teach in our community as well, is the exact client acquisition systems we've used to book like 80 meetings a month. Now I'm doing a lot less meetings because it's more qualified people. I don't want to waste time with broke people on a call. So it's more like, 20 to 30 meetings now, but it's all qualified people. So my close rate is higher, less time, better clients. But that's something else. So, client acquisition, which we teach in the School of Athens, like that's number 1 is DMs, emails, boom. And then obviously we're going to run ads pretty soon as well. So that's all you can really do. And we do all of that. So we practice what we preach. Okay. That's the hardest part, is actually getting someone on the call, right? So just do everything you can. Money's in the follow-up. Like follow-up is so, so important. Like I follow up with Mike Tyson's social media manager for like, not manager, whatever. Like I don't know his entire team structure. A year straight, every single week for a year straight. Boom, signed, client. We're starting in January. We're starting with Mike Tyson again, okay? So that's the importance of follow-up. Just like being extremely consistent, just doing it every single day, reaching out to 100 people every single day, following up with them, booking them on calls. And once you've booked them on calls, it's pretty easy to close them then because they're already on the call, commitment, consistency, sunken cost. And obviously it's not all of that, but you need to still be good at sales, but it's much easier to close them then. The hardest part is getting someone on the call. So that's client acquisition. I did like an extensive free video on this. It's on our free community. It's called Observing the Model. And it's in the description. You can check it out. It's free. So just like chill. It's like an hour and 30 minutes of like straight up source. observing the model. And I explain client acquisition is turning a stranger into a customer. And I explain that entire process. Like stranger, someone who doesn't know you, turning like that whole process and customer. And turning is essentially client acquisition, which is, appointment booking and sales. All right, so that's that. Number 6, this is pretty cool. It's a book from Felix Dennis. I read It's How to Get Rich. Very generic title, but super good. And essentially in that book, he mentions that, it's not actually worth it. But anyway, Wall Street, they said something of, this comes to money, like making a lot of money. It happens slower than you'd expect and faster than you could imagine. So, with you starting your agency, it's going to be the exact same. And I feel this, even Felix Dennis wrote an exact quote of that. And I even wrote a tweet about this. Not that my tweets hold any, weight, but it happens slower than you'd expect. So you expect it to happen way quicker. That goes with number 1, misaligned expectations. So slower than you'd expect, but faster than you could imagine. Is on average, with my social media marketing agency, I made an average of $20,000 per month from month one. From month one in my first year of starting my agency, okay? So I obviously want to make way more money. I'm just telling you the facts right now. In the first month, I made on average, an extra $20,000 a month, okay? So on average from the first month. Imagine, you're starting a business and on average, the first month you make $20,000. And that's what happened to me. So it's faster than you could imagine, but slower than you'd expect. And obviously, I didn't make 20K my first month. It was it was 3K and then 12K and then 18K and 20, and then went on from there. So it averages out to 19,100. Okay, I actually calculated it. So, and then Felix Dennis wrote a quote on exactly that. You'll get rich slower than you'd like. So essentially, slower than you'd expect, and expect the same thing, but faster than you deserve. So he probably didn't read this quote from Wall Street, but he wrote it as well, which means every single person experiences the same phenomena. It's you'll get rich slower than you'd like, but faster than you deserve. So we all experience the same problems. I wrote a tweet about this. I said, we all experience the same problems, but people just quit too early. That's it. We all experience the same problems, but people just quit too early. And the main thing, I've read a couple of biographies in the last month or so. And the main trait of all these successful people is resilience. It's just persistence and resilience. Just keep going at it. It's not about the skills. It's not about, obviously that's important. But the main thing is persistence. Just keep at it. That's number 1. If there's one thing you need to take away from this video and for 2025, it's just don't quit. There's a reason people say that. I heard that someone said it's the best advice I can ever give you. And they're don't quit. It's because it really is. Persistence and resilience. It's all of these people. It's a common trait with every single successful entrepreneur. All right. So that's number 6. And number 7, this briefly ties into number 2, which is doubt. Belief comes before ability. Actually, I just mentioned that in number 2 already, but I'll touch on this again. So belief comes before ability. And all these entrepreneurs that I've read, they truly believed that they will become successful, 100%. Every single one of them. And I was the exact same. You can even look back at my oldest YouTube video. I was pretty cringe, but I'm still keeping it on there because the contrast, how I started out, how I'm now, how I will progress in the future. It's just cool to look back on and people to see, okay, not everyone starts off successful, whatever. You can look at an old video of mine. It says, here's how I'm going to make $20,000 a month. My monk mode protocol. At the time, that video, I was making $1,000 a month, not even from my agency. I was doing some freelance work. I had 0 clients with my agency. 0, nothing. And I made a YouTube video telling people, here's how I'm going to make $20,000 a month. And you have to realize, in South Africa, the average, not average, but a very good business owner, like a 40, 50-year-old, business guy in South Africa makes maximum $4,000, 4,000. Okay. And here's me, terrible haircut, 0 confidence, like, obviously I was extremely confident inside, but you couldn't see that from the outside. Like, I was just like, there was just this deep knowing and certainty from inside of me when I made that video, but you can't quite see the confidence from outside. So it takes some time for that confidence on the outside to actually show. And you can see in that video, I'm not really as confident. I'm just like I can't really speak. But, I'm essentially telling people in that video, I'm going to make 5 times the most successful business owner in South Africa as a 21-year-old who knows nothing about business and who doesn't even have a business. So if that doesn't go to show, belief comes before ability. I don't know what is. Okay. So you need to have this like deep knowing and certainty that you will achieve this. And the only reason you wouldn't is if you quit. So that's why resilience and persistence is so important and that's also why it's a very, very common trait among the most successful people in the 1900s, who've made built big companies, Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, all these people. It's resilience. So, and that's something you can cultivate. When I was starting out on my, let's say, entrepreneurship journey, or even in school, people think that, I was like this disciplined guy from the absolute start. Far from the truth. I would procrastinate all the time because it was work I was not interested in. You can't teach people through force. You can only teach through inspiration. You can't teach people to read these stupid books that they give you, fucking Potladif and all this bullshit. Who wants to read those books? It's terrible books. Why not just give us 48 Laws of Power or Reality Transurfing or Think and Grow Rich or Atomic Habits? Why don't they give us those books in high school or something? What on earth? And now we are reading these stupid, dumb books. And that's why, people, I think after the age of 24, 99% of people don't ever pick up a single book again because the school system completely indoctrinates people to hate learning. But I'm actually extremely, extremely passionate about learning. I love learning. I read all the time, podcasts, constantly learning. I just love it. I'm extremely passionate about that. That's also why I can build a business from that, which is pretty cool. And passion is also very important. With your business, people are like, oh no, you don't need passion. It's money. Trust me, all these big guys, they were all extremely passionate about their business. And if you want to sustain it for the long term, you need to be passionate. Trust me, I'm going to be the first person who says this. Everyone says, oh, passion is BS. Don't do passion. Obviously, there are going to be stages in your journey and when you're building your company that are going to be challenging, but I think you're still going to love it. Who said this? The CEO of NVIDIA, Django or something. He said there are stages or there are times when he doesn't like what he's doing, but he deep down loves it. So that's what passion is. That's what unconditional love is. Unconditional love for your business is there are sometimes let's take your family and you, for example, your parents. They have unconditional love for you even when you mess up. It's that with your company. You just have this deep passion about it, even though there are some things that are challenges and some things that didn't go as planned, but you still love the thing. And that's what you want. Okay? So, but in order to get that, I don't know if you can start your passion business from the start. I truly believe the best thing to do is first get that cash flow going with your agency business, your service-based business, because you only have time. You do that, solve rich people problems, they pay better, right? And then you can start your passion project, which isn't really a passion project. It's not like a flower business. It's your actual big company that you're building, like we are doing with the School of Athens. We are deeply passionate about this. We will do this, we can work on, holidays, Christmas, we will work because we just absolutely love it. There's no rules. You don't have to not work at a certain date and time. You can do whatever you want. And if you like what you're doing, you will do it for longer periods of time. And therefore, you will beat your competition. All right. So that's essentially this video. I really hope you enjoyed this one and you had an amazing 2024 and here's to an even better 2025. Affirm it. I just know it's going to happen. And when I know something, it usually happens. So I just know I can't even comprehend yet what's going to happen, obviously, because I can't see the future, but I just know opportunities are going to fly. I just know that. So be aware, be conscious. And then I see you in 2025 No, I'm probably going to release another one. I'm not sure. But if I don't, happy 2025, and I see you on the next one. Bye-bye.